Hello and welcome to another edition of Morning Tailgate brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. We are in week 12, guys. Started off Thursday with the Thanksgiving games, which we'll get into.
Yep.
I am hosted by, well, I'm the host. I guess I'm hosted by myself. So, big and I'm joined by the working man, Crispy Bacon. How you
Oh
doing,
no.
bud?
Doing good. I hope everybody had a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and we're going to cover those games and all the other games today.
Yep, and then halfway across the world like normal, Prime Oos, Tim Hendricks. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm hoping everybody had a safe and wonderful holiday. Thanksgiving here was called Thursday. Um, Looking forward to week 12. If like I think I've said just about every week, if the Thursday games tell us anything, nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody's going to happen today. But hey, we're going to try to figure it out.
Yep, exactly, and
Yep.
and then hopefully, I'm guessing mess around is still full from Thanksgiving, so he's probably taking a few naps. But hopefully he'll be on shortly. But if not, we'll kick it off. But guys, I want to start off with last week's game, Patriots against the Jets. I don't think I've ever recalled a game that did not have produced much offense, and then the most exciting play happened with 5 seconds left in the game where the Patriots run back a punt to end the game. There's some controversy there that the Patriots should have got called for blocking in the back towards the
Blocking it
end
back,
there.
yeah.
I don't know if it would have made a difference. I think that would have put them. I mean, I guess you would have started back, would have went into overtime. I think it was a tacky call. Would have been a tacky call because I don't think that defender had any chance to get to him. But Tim, what do you think on that play?
That I think the last time that a game ended on a punt return for a touchdown was Redskins Eagles with Deshaun Jackson. When
Okay.
they told him to kick away from Deshaun Jackson and they decided to kick to him.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I remember that. Yes.
I thought
I
that was the Giants game.
It was the
Like
Giants. You're
Giants
right. It was the
Eagles.
Giants. Giants and
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Um, when I saw that play, I'm like, okay, I'll switch. It just happened that game switched over after the Colts Eagles game.
Ugh.
And I just happened to see, oh, this game's going to overtime, and I remember telling the wife that, oh, this game's going to overtime, and da da da, and I'm like, I can't believe it's this score. And next thing I know, I look up, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna watch this play and then go to over and then just go to bed because it's late. And I look at that play and I'm like, are you gotta be kidding me? That just did not happen. I've never, like I said, the last time I've seen it, and you're talking about 2 weeks now, where two games end regulation in some crazy fashion. Um, to see, I was absolutely shocked. I was blown away. I really didn't think that they should have kicked it to him. I
Yep.
guess, but to do that, it blew me away. But then again, it's 2022 football. It's 22 NFL football, and should we actually be shocked by something that crazy that happened?
No, exactly
I think
right. This
no.
this year's. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was going to say back then, I think you would have.
Yeah, I mean, in back in the day, I don't think they would have kicked to the punt returner. Especially somebody that fast. I know. I can tell you, two guys I wouldn't have kicked to. Devin Hester and Deion Sanders would definitely not be the two guys I kicked to. But
No.
this year, like Tim said, I mean, it's been a lot of ups and downs, crazy stuff's happening. Um, so we'll see what Week 12 brings. I mean, I think we said it before. Last year's playoffs, I think, ramped up the uh, football season this year. They're keeping it going. So
Oh, yeah.
let's get into one tough question. I've been thinking about this for a while. Why is it when a team loses and they blame their quarterback, but then when a team wins, it's a team win? So, Tim, what do you think on that?
It's easy. I truthfully think it's easier to blame one person than it is to
Yep.
blame the entirety. Um, Problem is with the reason why they say the quarterback makes most of the mistakes. is because the fact is that's the guy who does basically he's the reason most of the reason why teams score. I think the reason that it's a team victory is they it I that I never understood. I never understood. I was always when I played, it didn't matter what sport. It could have been softball, it could have been basketball, it could have been volleyball, hockey, football. We were always told if you win as a team, you lose as a team.
Yep.
To me, I'm telling you right now, Matt Ryan didn't lose those games for us. Our coaching staff lost our games for us this year. I'm going to tell you right now, I know who lost those games. And it always blows my mind. It just the fact is, and the quarterbacks will tell you this too. It's like, yeah, I lost this game. No, dude, no. Your line didn't block. Your defense didn't stop. Couldn't stop a cold if you gave it to him in a bag. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter, and I never understood that. I never have.
Can somebody tell Wilson that?
Yeah, Chris, what do you think? So what do you think?
I mean, the quarterback does, like Tim says, everything. He's the one that kind of starts the whole thing off. And yeah, it's easy to blame that player, but especially when like a receiver catches it or misses, especially catches it and they're like, okay, good pass. Well, the receiver had to catch it.
Yep.
It goes both ways. But I think because the quarterback's the focal point, the spotlight's always on him. No one else.
Well, and that's the thing. And I'm going to take the Vikings game against Dallas. I mean, everybody here is blasting Kirk Cousins. It's like, did we not see that the offensive line couldn't give Kirk Cousins time to blink? I mean,
right.
And then some are blaming the defense, and it's just like blaming the defensive coordinator. It's like, yeah, they called plays, but they've also missed many tackles and stuff like that. But then when they win, just like on Thursday, oh, what a great team win. Jefferson played good, and the defense held their own, and the offensive line blocked. It's just like, okay, now we're not even going to talk about Kirk Cousins, because they won. I mean, so it's frustrating to me that, just like in baseball too, if a team does bad, it's because of their pitching staff. It's like, okay, but yet you only got 2 hits. You didn't score enough runs, So, but
yeah,
it just bugs me, when it's a loss, it's on the quarterback, and when it's the win, it's the whole team that wins. But Tim, I like your analogy there with the Colts. I mean, you follow the Colts. I mean, they definitely are struggling with their coaching staff, and now they got Mr. Saturday there. So, all right, guys. So let's get into it. Let's talk about those Thursday games quick before we get into our picks. This is going to be a quick pick segment. Chris, what do you think about your Cowboys?
Yeah, I thought they played well. It was kind of scary in the first half. Then somehow we picked it up in the second half. We're usually a second half team, anyways, but you never know in the NFL. But I thought it was a good win, big win. Close out the season almost.
Yep, exactly. Tim, what did you think of the Thursday games? Anything in particular?
How good are the Detroit Lions? How good are the Detroit Lions? It's scary. They've got 4 wins. Yeah, I expect them to probably have a little more, but to do what they did against Buffalo, to keep them as close as they did, to only lose on a last-second field goal. I'm like, how, you want that game to be exactly what it is. That's the epitome of the ball bouncing the wrong way for a team all season.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, the Central. Well, you can tell I've been used to the days of the NFC. The North has to worry. I'm telling you, Detroit in the 2 years is going to be an amazing team.
I mean that's the thing. I mean, Detroit 4-7. Are they possibly the best 4-7 team around? I mean, yeah, their defense ain't there, but at home that team is just phenomenal. I think they're scoring like 30-some points a game at home, giving up just under that or close to it. I did the stats last week. I was looking
Think
into it
about-
because I was this close. I was this close to picking Detroit over Buffalo, and I think if it wasn't for Buffalo playing in Detroit last week on Sunday and then staying there and then coming back, I think I would have picked. I think they went home and then came back. Yeah, I know they went home, but I think if they would have had not flown there last week, I think I would have picked the Lions in that game. But yeah, I mean the Lions.
Well, and the weird thing is, I remember making the comment going before I even picked Detroit beating the Giants last week. I'm like, Detroit coming in a 3-game winning streak. Are we talking about a 4-game winning streak? And when they play Buffalo, and that you think about it, they're second in the division right now. They're second.
They're tied with Green Bay. Yep.
And just think if Green Bay loses either 1 or 2 games, I can't remember. I don't have the standings, but they could move up quickly, even with the record they got.
Yep. Right now, I think outside of the AFC East, we could start seeing a couple divisions be clinched here in the next couple weeks. So the AFC East could clinch. Eagles and Dallas are going to battle here a little bit, but
I think Eagles got the number 1.
Yeah, they're sitting number 1 right now, but the Vikings could clinch Detroit. They have a combination of 2, so the magic number is 2. Detroit and Green Bay loses, and the Vikings win the following week. It's over, or a combination of a win and a couple losses. So, but for me, I was talking backstage. I was worried about the Vikings game. I did not know how it was going to turn out, who was going to show up. Belichick being able to scheme against, put a good defensive scheme together against terrible offense. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but man, Kirk Cousins showed up. The running game didn't show up too much, but Jefferson, Thielen, TJ, those guys all showed up. The defense showed up. And I got to say to the person who is watching, or a person that's watching or catches it, you want to trade Jefferson now? I don't think so. I mean, you made a post. I'm not going to blast his name, but somebody, a Vikings fan posted on his Facebook after Sunday's game that he wants to trade Jefferson and get 6 to 8 round first round picks, and you're crazy. No, you don't trade Jefferson. Maybe if the season goes south, and we're sitting, 2-8 or something, maybe, but no, you don't trade a guy like that. He just broke Randy Moss's record for most yards in 3 seasons or something like that. He's on pace to break every Vikings record. So yeah. So to the person out there, go talk to Steven.
Fantasy team. I have him in our fantasy league.
Oh yeah, I've had him a couple. So all right, guys. So let's get into our picks this week. The first game we got is the 3-7 Broncos, who are favored by 1 over the 3-8 Panthers. So Chris, I'll start with you. Who do you have in this game?
I got Carolina. I know both teams aren't really that good, but you kind of have to go with the home team. I don't trust Wilson right now.
All right. Yep. Tim?
Sarge is going to be really, really, really oozy about my pick.
Uh-oh.
Because Sarge knows that. I know that Sarge is a Carolina Panthers fan.
Yep.
So Sarge is going to really, and this is going to be up until Christmas. I'm going to give away Uzi presents, and for Sarge, I'm going to give an Uzi present, and I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Mainly just because they're at home, and like I said before, typically if it's a coin flip or you're undecided, you always go with the home team. I'm going the Panthers. I know they're kind of rebuilding, but let's take the home team. We got the 5-5 Buccaneers versus the Browns at 3-7. I think I wrote down the line wrong because it's -3, but I thought
I got -3.5.
Okay. Well, ESPN has a -3, but the Bucs are favored. So Chris, who do you have? Or no, we'll go with Tim. Tim, who do you have in this game?
Oh, he was good.
Yeah.
I've got I as much as I hate Tom Brady, eventually they've got to start Kyle Trask. Eventually,
Yep.
maybe this is my Brock Purdy call. No, I can't do that to myself this late in the year. I've got the Buccaneers. I can't. It hurts. It hurts so much to say that. It's like staying out in the sun for like 4 hours at 180 degrees. It just hurts.
All right, Chris, who do you have?
Yeah, I got Tampa Bay, but I have a feeling that Brissett's going to play a good game, supposed final game. Watson's supposed to play next week against his old team, so.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going Tampa.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Browns. I like their running game. If they can get the ball moving, keep it out of Brady's hands, I think the Browns could do it.
Yeah.
Bucks still have to show me something. I know they're 5-5, on the verge of playoffs, but I'd probably go with the Bucks if they're at home. So, all right. So we got the 6-4 Bengals, who are favored by 1 over the 7-3 Titans. Chris, who do you have in this game?
Both teams are really good. I'm gonna go with Jatasha. Tennessee. I can't speak. The
All right.
Titans and Derrick Henry. Yeah.
All right. Chris, Tim.
No, I'm not Chris.
You're not Chris.
I can't take the Cleveland Bengals. It just doesn't feel right. I don't think they can stop Derrick Henry. Eventually they're going to get eventually Tennessee's going to get some wide receivers that can actually do outside of. At this point, I still don't understand why they got rid of AJ Brown.
But they drafted AJ Brown.
No, they drafted him and then they traded him to the Eagles and decided to get another AJ Brown.
That's what I'm going at.
If I would have been smart, I would have kept AJ Brown
and
drafted another AJ Brown. But that's just me. But then again, they would have needed a quarterback to throw to AJ Brown because Tannehill was a wide receiver at A&M. So at this point, we've got a wide receiver throwing to a wide receiver, and yeah. But but the thing is, you don't need a quarterback when you've got Derrick Henry. When you've got King Henry, you're not doing anything. So you have to take the Titans.
All right, yeah, I'm going to the Titans. King Henry. Sooner or later, that offense is going to click with some receivers, like Tim said. So I'm going to the Titans on this one. So the next game, we got the 8-1 Texans versus the 7-3 Dolphins. Dolphins are favored by 2 touchdowns in this game. So Tim, who do you have?
This is becoming a weekly thing. The Houston Texans aren't playing. They're playing NFL football. They're playing Madden football, and at this point, the Dolphins are on all Madden. This is not even going to look pretty. I think they're winning by 3 scores. I think Miami's just going to just shellac them. And the fact is that Davis isn't starting for the Titans or the Texans. He might as well start for the Titans. At least he might start somewhere. The Dolphins are going to crush this team. This team, if the Texans score more than 3 points, it's a failure on the Dolphins' part. But I got the Dolphins all day and next week.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins too, but it's going to be interesting to see how Houston's, gonna play with their, I guess, next backup quarterback, however you want to, put that. But they benched Davis Mills, so.
Oh, they did. I did not see that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I was going to make Texas my lock, but since they benched Mills, I'm going to change my pick. No, I'm going to Dolphins. I think they could have brought Davis Mills, Carr. They could have brought Watt back. I don't think they have any prayer. With that being said, I'm going with the Dolphins as my lock this week. So it might be a lock that, but I'm going with the Dolphins. So that offense is just so high powered, and that defense is pretty decent. So, and the Texans are playing, like Tim said, rookie Madden mode. So, all right, so we're going to go with the mighty 3-8 Bears versus the 6-4 Jets. Who would have thought we would have said that? And the Jets are favored by 7. So, Chris, who do you have in this game?
Yeah, I got the Bears in this one. Jets are playing pretty good. They also benched their quarterback. Mike White's supposed to start for New York Jets. I'm picking Chicago.
All right, Tim.
What's the health status of Justin Fields?
I think
Let me
he's
see
playing.
here.
I think last I heard he's playing.
Let's see.
This is why
got
Dave
him.
taking naps doesn't help.
Yeah, they're questioning. They got him on questionable, but I think he's expected to play.
God, the moment
It's
they
going to be
bench
more
Zach
pain
Wilson,
management.
they're putting Peyton Manning in. What? When did they sign Peyton Manning?
No.
No, it's pain. No, it's going to be pain management. Pain management.
Oh,
Time management or play management.
Okay. I don't know. I like that kid for the Jets. You saw what he did last year.
Yep.
Who says he can't do it again this year?
Yep.
I got the Jets, and I'll make it my lock.
Got the Jets and a lock. All right. For me, man, yeah, I got to go to the Jets. I like Fields. I like what he does. But if you stop Fields, you stop the Bears. So and if Fields doesn't play, then you pretty much stop the Bears. I mean, so I'm going to go with the Jets.
Yeah.
So we got the 5-6 Falcons, another team that wow, we're saying the 5-6 Falcons versus the 6-5 Commanders. Commanders are favored by 4. So I'm going to start. I'm going with the Commanders. I like what Heineke's doing over there. I think he has told everybody that he's a starting quarterback, and if nobody's listening to him, then he needs to find a different team. So I'm going with the Commanders. Chris, who do you have?
The Commanders are really good, but I'm going with the Falcons.
All right,
He's learning.
Go with the Falcons. He's
learning.
I'm
He's
learning.
learning. All right. Oos, what do you got?
Here. I just don't like the Falcons. I don't know what's happened to him the last couple weeks. And Heineke just looks like a superstar. Maybe he's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. Maybe he's Gardner Minshew. I don't know, but this kid, maybe he's Keanu Reeves from The Replacement. I don't know, but I don't know. He's a leader. I'll tell you that. I've never seen a team follow a guy like this before. They'd follow him straight into hell. I truthfully think the Commanders are going to take that final playoff spot. I really do. I got the Commanders.
All right. Yeah, I can't argue. So we got this 3-7 Ravens, who are favored by 3.5 over the 3-7 Jaguars. So Tim, who do you have in this game?
The Jaguars need Gardner Minshew back.
All right.
Trevor Minshew. Good Lord, what in the world is going on with me today? Okay. I didn't have turkey for Thanksgiving. I don't get this. I had pizza. The Jaguars. This is not a playoff team. I'll tell you that right now. I don't care. I don't care who said it. I don't care. This team isn't a playoff team unless the playoffs are filled with 100 Houston Texans or Houston Titans or whoever from the XFL and the USFL and maybe some college football teams. But the Jaguars aren't playing football either. I don't know what in the world happened to that team. But I've got the Ravens because it's the Ravens. Come on.
Chris?
Yeah, I got the Ravens. Jaguars haven't played that well. Have I made Ravens my lock?
You're going to make the Ravens your lock. All right.
Yeah.
Uzi pick. Uzi lock. I love it.
I kind of like that lock a little bit, but I do like the Jaguars. I think they're coming around. They got all those picks. They've been having high picks. I don't think I think we all had them pick like to win 3 games all year, and they already hit that. But Ravens, you count them out, they prove you wrong. You count them in, they prove you wrong. Lamar Jackson, another guy too that he's been doing a little bit better in his passing game. But if
Yeah.
he gets moving around, I mean, he's just like Fields. It runs through him. So I'm going Ravens. The next game we got the 5-5 Chargers, who are favored by 2.5 over the 4-7 Cardinals. I believe Murray's still out. I could look at that, but Chris, who do you have?
Who are the Cardinals facing again?
Chargers, Cardinals.
I'm going Chargers. Cardinals let me
Yeah.
down a little bit.
All right, so you go to the Chargers. Tim, who do you have?
Yeah, that's one of those teams. The Cardinals are one of those teams that everything runs through Kyler Murray, and if you stop Kyler Murray, the Cardinals just flop on the floor like a fish. I've got the Chargers.
All right. Right now, it's looking like he's not on the injury list, so they're expecting him to play. I don't think it's going to matter. I'm going Chargers too. I know Oregon Ducks typically don't have a good quarterback, but coming out of college, but Herbert's proven them wrong. So give me the Chargers. So now we got the 3-7 Raiders going to Seattle, who are 6-4 and favored by 4. So Tim, who do you have in this game?
In Geno, we trust. You know how it used to be back at Cooper Rush, we trust. I don't know. I don't know what's in the water in Seattle, but they are playing as if they need to be drug tested. They're playing way too well for a team that isn't supposed to be doing good and traded your star quarterback to the Broncos. And when you say the Seattle Supersonics, good Lord, what in the world is up to me today?
Tim, what are you drinking? What's in the water over there?
I'm drinking my monster that I drink every show. Who would have figured that the Seahawks would have a better record than the Russell Wilson led Denver Broncos?
Yep.
Nobody would looked at that. And I've got the Seattle Seahawks and the Supersonics if they want to play too.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, I got Seattle. It's weird that we're saying Geno Smith is, the quarterback in Seattle, where we thought everything was ran by Russell Wilson, but he's not doing good in Denver, which is kind of surprising, but I don't know.
Yeah, Geno we trust. I'm going Seahawks. Who would have thought that? Some people are kind of inching to put Smith up in the MVP category. I wouldn't go that far, but comeback player, I know that typically goes to somebody that's been on injury reserve, but but definitely, I mean, if they went with MVP being most valuable player, Geno Smith would be up there for sure because he is valuable to Seattle, and we all counted him out, and he just keeps balling. So we got the 3-7 Rams versus the 8-2 Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 15.5. I'm going to ask, but I think I know where we're all going with this game. Chris?
We're going Chiefs. Or I'm going Chiefs.
Yep, he called it for all of us.
Well, yeah. And the Rams are going to be without their quarterback
Stafford.
possibly for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Tim, I'll let you give your takes on it and just to share your pick.
Oh my gosh! Because legitimately, when I heard Bacon go, we picked the Chiefs. So I'm like, well, he already said mine. I'm thinking that was it that obvious? Holy crap! Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's really scary. That's a yeah no. Even at this point, we can pretty much say that the repeat isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
The Chiefs. Yeah, it's the Chiefs by that's probably the same amount of score that I had as the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Chiefs. The Rams have fallen off. I've also read, Chris talks about that the Rams might be without Stafford all year. Stafford, there's reports that Stafford might be hinting this might be it with this concussion that he had. So there's
I can
small
understand
rumor.
that.
There's small rumors, and I could too. That's why I'm still shocked that Tua is even upright right now after what he's gone through. But
I mean,
yeah,
he
if the
got a
Chief,
Super Bowl.
if the Chiefs don't win this by double digits, I'll be shocked. So
Stafford's won a Super Bowl. He got what
Stafford
he
has
was
won a
hoping
Super
for.
Bowl, and I bet you the Lions wish they had a quarterback that could be a Super Bowl quarterback.
Or they did, but they didn't feel like he was, so
Yeah,
they shipped him off.
yeah. For anybody listening, that's an old joke from last year's Four Bros Radio and Morning Tailgate. So,
Yeah.
all right, we got the Saints 4-7 versus the 6-4 49ers. Niners favored by 9.5. Tim, your pick at the beginning of the year has not come to fruition yet. So who do you have in this game?
I'm done with the Saints. I have been punched in the face by the Saints harder than Tyson has hit people. It's just ridiculous how many times I've taken the Saints. I might as well bury the Saints at this point. But hey, I've read a report that the Saints are getting healthy. Not on my watch. I don't care. I've got the 49ers.
All right, Chris.
I got 49ers too. Maybe the Saints are getting healthy. Just next year they're going to get healthier. But I'm taking the 49ers.
Yeah, as much as I really would not want to pick the 49ers, I'm going 49ers. Samuel's due to come back, so any day now we're going to see Samuel to C2C touchdown or vice versa passing. It's coming before the end of the year. That is going to come.
That would be interesting.
Oh, well, we almost had it the first game if Samuel would have played probably. So
Probably.
all right, we got the 4-7 Packers versus the 9-1 Eagles. Eagles are only favored by 6.5. Tim, you're laughing, so I'll let you start with this game.
Oh my gosh.
He's got Green Bay.
Oh my gosh.
That's why he's wearing green today. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No. It was like I saw that team. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Green Bay is going to look like Swiss cheese. You want to call them a cheesehead? You're going to need as much cheese. You're going to need, and this is the Sunday night game, folks.
Yep.
This is the Sunday night game. So they put this. I'm going to apologize now. They put this ass whooping on prime time. So this may be the reason where Aaron Rodgers goes right into the sunset after this game. So I'm taking the Eagles, and I'm taking the Eagles by 20.
Ooh, Eagles by 20. Chris?
I'm picking the Eagles too, but
oh no,
there's a couple of scares where the Eagles have been declining. I'm still picking them to win, but
for me,
Justin Fields has just been called inactive today for the Bears game.
Oh,
they're starting Trevor Siemian.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
I have not
I'm
seen that one come. Oh, yep. I just seen it now, and Jamar Chase is out. Okay. Yep, just see that one come through. So.
Yep, me too.
All right, Chris. I'll give you one chance to change your pick.
Eagles. Oh,
no. Bears Jets. Maybe the Eagles can fly to New York and play. I mean, they're not too far there. So
I'm picking the Bears still.
You stay with the Bears. Okay. For me, as a Vikings fan, this game kind of scares me because we want the Eagles to win for sure, but we want the Eagles to lose because we want a better chance to hopefully catch them in the number one seed. But
flip a coin.
Exactly. But the thing is I can see the Packers coming out, doing Packer things, and beating their Eagles just to stick it to the Vikings on how bad they got beat on Monday Night Football by the Eagles. But I'm still going the Eagles because I just can't trust that second scenario happening. I can see it being a close game, if anything, but I think the Eagles are just going to be too overpowering And you just don't know what kind of offense the Packers are going to show up with. Is it, and then there's reports Aaron Rodgers broke his finger, thumb. I don't know, but the Eagles are 100% healthy according to their report. So we go to Go ahead,
but
Chris.
no one's really truly healthy. No one's
Yeah,
truly healthy.
well, yeah, it's football. I mean,
Yeah.
after week 1, you're not healthy. I mean, Tim could probably testify to that. I think he's probably played more football than all of us. So let's go to the Superstar Monday Night Football game. We got the 3-7 Steelers versus the 4-6-1 Colts. Tim, your team's on prime time. Saturday he gets to coach on Sunday, and now he gets to coach on Monday.
Primetime game 1.
Yeah, primetime game 1. Yeah, this is terrible. This game is about as great as the Thursday games outside of Thanksgiving.
Yep.
This is going to be terrible. This is going to be absolutely. This is going to be. I don't know. It's just for everybody out there thinking that I'm going to be the homer in this pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers have beaten the Indianapolis Colts 7 straight times. This Colts team, even if they're coached by Frank Reich, whoever wants to coach them this year, they're taking a lottery next week if this game goes wrong this week. We have not broken any streak this year. Any. That's why I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Whoa, go with the Steelers. All right, Chris?
I'm going Pittsburgh.
All right. Just reading up on it. Just reading up on it. Yeah, the Colts haven't beat Steelers last 7 times since winning 14 years ago because they don't play every year. That was when Saturday was in his prime. So, I'm going with the Colts. I think the Colts are going to do it. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game, but I think it's going to be. I think the Colts are going to do it. Since that's being said, before we move on, why don't we give a little prediction on the score here? So, Tim, what do you think the score is going to be?
This is a team that almost beat the Eagles last week, and they got help, and the Eagles got help by a phantom no call on a face mask on a 4th and goal. We have any Eagles fans out there? Like I was talking behind this, back in the green room that we don't have, back in the offstage chat.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear you guys complain that you guys didn't get a face mask call against the Commanders because you didn't get the face mask. We didn't get the face mask call against the Eagles. So I don't want to hear it. This is going to be terrible. If this is 21-17, it's going to be nice.
Is that your score, 21-17?
Yeah, 21-17.
All right,
that's
Chris,
more. Actually, and the funny thing is, that's a better score than the Broncos Colts game on Thursday night when we played them.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think the score is going to be?
Pittsburgh 17-14.
17-14. Chris, you kind of stole my score there. Oh. I'll go 17-14. I think it's going to come down. Yeah, that'll work. It's going to come down to overtime field goal. Colts are going to do it. So, all right, guys. With that being said, those are our picks this week for Week 12. I can't believe it's already Week 12. So,
I know.
All right, Chris. Let's get into our topics. Let's wrap it up here. All right.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
All right, Chris, give us some history.
So today we're going to do the 49ers. I don't think I've done them. I can't remember who I've
I don't know.
covered, but we're going to do the 49ers. Started in 1970, around 1970. They've had Bill Walsh, Walsh is their, most famous head coach. Won about 5 Super Bowls. Had very successful teams. They played in Candlestick for a long time. Now they play in Levi Stadium. And that's just basically the brief history. They've been in the NFL for playing football since 78 years. Actually started in 1944, but I think started in the NFL around the 70s. So
Yep. Nope. Good history. They're a team that I think, like you said, Chris, Bill Walsh stays out as their coach. Roger Craig, Jerry Rice, Montana, Young as some of their stud players. Ronnie Lott. Um, just so everybody knows, I know there's a certain guy that used to be part of our coast to coast still in our family. Jerry Rice is not the greatest quarterback to become out of San Francisco. So just to clarify that,
What?
yeah, it was.
wait,
It
you
was.
went a quarterback?
It
Wait,
was
you
a
mean it's
trivia.
not-
It was a
Wait,
trivia
it's not
question.
Steve Spurrier?
Yeah.
I know.
No, there was a
John
trivia
Brogan.
question, Tim, that we used to do. And our guy Dragon Viper
Yeah.
was asked greatest quarterbacks in
Oh,
San
okay.
Francisco history, and he said
Okay,
Jerry Rice.
as long as it's Dragon Viper, we're cool. I can
Yeah.
deal with that. I can handle that.
Yeah. So
Okay, no
so-
disrespect, Dragon Viper. We got you covered.
Yeah.
some of the nicknames the team has had is Niners Empire, the Niners, the Niner Gang. So a team right now, I still don't know. I'm still kind of confused on why they had a quarterback controversy because all Jimmy G does is win for them. So
Yeah. I feel
All
like
right.
he's the better quarterback of the two, but
yeah, I think going forward, Jimmy G's their guy. So all right, Chris, let's go into our topic number 2.
K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Even though Messerow's not here, we're still going to do Stop Messing Around with Messerow segment. This week, what can we do with these NFL refs? Tim, I know we brought it up quite a bit today. Phantom calls, missed calls. What can the NFL do? So, Tim, what can we do about the refs? Or let's do this.
I love the referees, brother.
And
Can we reinstitute the death by firing squad?
yeah.
Whoa, golly. I don't know.
Okay, let me add a part to that. What can we do with the refs missing these calls? And should NFL and the team be able to review some of these missed calls?
I think when it comes to missed calls and stuff, I think they need to be. I think they need to be fined. If you make a blatantly missed call, okay, we'll go back since I've been nice enough to keep bringing this up in the show and backstage. That missed call in the Philadelphia Eagles Indianapolis Colts game, that missed face mask. I think that played a huge part in the game, and it did in the Commanders game. And
Yep.
Can we bring up the New Orleans Saints and back in the playoffs? That changed so much. That changed history. That really changes history. I think you either fire or suspend. Maybe fire might be. I think you do a 3-tier system. I think you fine, then you suspend, then you fire. We go to our jobs, we make 3 mistakes. We make the same mistake 3 times. We don't have that job anymore. Yep. I truthfully think that officials, I know they're there voluntarily. They do this job, but they got other jobs. It's not like we're taking food off their plate. We're taking a weekend away from them. They get their weekends free. Guess what? You can go to the Super Bowl, but now you'll be as a fan, not as a referee. I think we get held to certain standards at our jobs. They should be held to certain standards at their jobs. I truthfully think that a 3-tier system needs to be done in the NFL because it's understandable if it's once a week, once in a while, but this is every game there's a blatant mistake, and it's huge, and it causes so much problem in each game that it dictates how the game's being played.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No doubt. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it should be like a 3-tier system. 3 strikes, basically, you're out. For a weekend, not totally. But I think that too. Maybe some calls should be reviewed. Maybe a pass interference call could be reviewed. If there's a possible concussion, I know they kind of do that, but if they didn't miss, if they missed something where it could have been a concussion, you could have had that. There's a couple of things you could probably do with a review, but I don't think every call should be reviewed.
All right. We got a comment coming in from George G. the third. Thank you for joining. It depends on the missed call. You can't sit there all game long and examine. You're exactly right. You can't sit there all day long, examine. Yeah, it's going to be a touchy situation.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, there's been plenty of obvious missed calls, and they got a guy in the booth. They got I guarantee you, yes, everybody, we're not perfect. I mean, we're going to miss things.
No.
The refs in the time of the game are going to miss their calls, definitely. But you got the guy in the booth, you got the guy in New York or wherever, watching. If they think I mean, maybe the NFL needs to take more responsibility and be like, hey, let's take a little second here. Let's review this play quick. The referee system is graded on a scale. It doesn't affect their pay. Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, it doesn't. They are paid on a scale, but like Tim was saying though, if we go to work, we make a mistake. Yeah, we get talked to, written up. That could be our first, and then the second one might be a write up with okay, you need to suspension here or something like that. And then third, we make the same mistake. Okay, this ain't working out. Got to cut ties. So, and the second piece would be the booth referee double check for calls and also for the calls they get wrong too. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think if you got a guy upstairs or I don't know how many guys are sitting upstairs watching the game, but they need to look at something. But I do get George's point. You can't review everything. I totally get that. But like Tim said, there was a missed call in the Phillies game. I mean,
well, the weird thing is, and the worst thing is that the two missed calls in the Eagles games, the Commanders game and the Colts game, happened to be reviewed.
Yep.
And it was blatantly seen. That's a whole different story where they should have gone back. At that point, it should have, and I know you can't go back and do that, but at least at that point, you should be able to, at this point, both of those were fumbles, and both of them were something along the lines of it, but they were blatant face masks, and yet nothing.
And maybe they, in spring training or preseason, maybe the month before they get the refs together a month long and have them go to school and review.
They do have reffing school. They do have.
I know they do. I don't know how. Maybe we'll have to try to find a ref that's willing to talk. Come in and give us a little insight. I know J Mac and Adam do ref in high school. Maybe they can come in and kind of. I know it's high school compared to NFL. I know the compares. Totally different game. I totally get that. So George is also saying 3-strike thing would not happen because the NFL spent thousands of dollars trade. Oh, and you're right. I get it. They spend thousands of dollars. I totally get that. Maybe not 3 strikes. Like you're out. Okay, we're finding you, we're suspending you, we're firing. Maybe it's a fine. Maybe it's okay. We're going to fine you again. You're off next week. We're going to fine you again. You're off. You're suspended for X amount of games.
Yeah.
I don't think we're really talking, 3 slaps on the wrist and then you're gone. I mean, there still has to be politics behind it. But, George, thank you for chiming in. So, Chris, let's get into our next. Okay, he's got another one here. Also, remember the refs are different views. No, you're totally right. I totally get it. Yes, the refs can't see everything.
Yeah.
Give the refs body cams.
Give the ref body cams. Honestly,
it's not a bad idea.
Honestly, that would be something, Tim. I think you're onto something. Let's talk about give the rest of body cams so we kind of see where their view is. And I mean,
They used
granted,
to do that with quarterbacks.
we all sit here know we cannot make a judgment call in a second. I mean,
Right.
we yeah, but body cams, hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea, but I don't think we're ever going to get a true fix. I mean, because we're all human, so maybe hopefully it gets better. That's the only thing we can hope for. But yeah, like we said, every game is having some crucial calls, missed and stuff like that.
Yep.
The XFL had ref cams. Really? I didn't watch them.
Yeah.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Dwayne the Rock Johnson can get the NFL to get some body cams in there. So, all right, Chris, let's go into our next topic. Should be the C2C Rankum screen.
Yeah.
All right, C2C Rankum. You can catch us on Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Central Time, which me and Tim are kind of talking about making a little bit later to see if we can get some more views, interactions with you guys. But catch us out Tuesdays, 9 a.m. right now. We do different lists. Last week we did food and Thanksgiving. This week we're going to do some music. So, Tim, what's your prime five this week?
The Uzi 5 list of the week.
Yes, the Uzi 5.
I was perusing Facebook a couple days ago, and I saw a picture of these two commentators, and somebody nicely said that they're the best commentators in the NFL. And when you see Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, you kind of want to stab yourself in the face. Troy Aikman is a better quarterback than he is a commentator.
Oh.
And I really wasn't a fan of Troy Aikman. No disrespect, Bacon, but he sucks.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't like him either as a commentator.
No, I like that comment.
but I thought, and the weird thing is, I also watched This Is the XFL, and I thought, okay, do I want to do the NFL or do I want to do pro sports? And I decided to go with the NFL, because if I had gone with the XFL, Matt Vasgersian would have been on here, because I ended up doing commentators. I would have put Jim Ross. I'd have put Jesse the Body Ventura. I'd have put Jerry the King Lawler, because they were the guys that did the XFL games. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to be wise. But I started off doing this list, and I'm thinking, I know of at least 100 better commentators, better than Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. So we could have done an hour on this alone. But number 5, I've got the Monday Night Football staple of Al Michaels. When you started watching Monday Night Football, and I don't know how long you've been watching football, Crispy, but as long as Big B and I have been watching football, Al Michaels was the voice of Monday Night Football forever. And to me, it was fun to watch, and it got better. Number 4, I remember when this guy was in CBS. This back in the day before CBS lost their contract, I think they were doing the NFC back in the 80s, and it was Brent Musburger. Every time I sat and watched, I remember watching football games left and right on CBS, and hearing Brent Musburger as the guy who did commentating for the NFL, and it was amazing. It was fun to watch. But these three are the GOATs. These three could have been anywhere 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1, 2. It could have been anywhere. But I got number 3 as Pat Summerall.
Oh yeah.
Pat Summerall, even though he was a kicker in the NFL, and he's from Lake City, Florida. He's from Lake City, Florida originally, and they've got places where you could go see his home and where he went to school. But
cool.
Pat Summerall was the voice for the longest time of NFL football. Every time you heard Pat Summerall. And to be honest, and as much as he was an alcoholic, he was an alcoholic behind the scenes, he still sounded sober compared to my number 2 guy, which is John Madden. John Madden sounded like a kid on Ritalin with 18 Red Bulls. But the thing is, if you were blind and you had to learn and you had to understand football, he understood. He taught you the rules. I'm like, everybody and their mother knew that if you threw a football into the end zone, it's a touchdown. But he made sure you knew about it every single time. He's the GOAT because they put him on a video game.
Yep.
This guy was the voice of the NFL.
Yep.
There's so many voices in the NFL, but
He was the guy.
Summerall, Al Michaels, and my number one, the guy who had to announce that John Lennon was murdered on Monday Night Football, Howard Cosell.
Yep.
Howard Cosell, Don Meredith, and Al Michaels was Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Howard Cosell is the quintessential sportscaster, but this guy was fluid. This guy was poetry. When he talked about football, he made it seem like it was a love story. He seemed like it was a love story in one quarter. The next quarter, it was a battle. It was a war. The second, he painted a picture that, and everybody who knew Howard Cosell understood the conversations he had with Muhammad Ali. I mean, Ali and the Cosells is like but what he did for football, and especially Monday Night Football. If Howard Cosell wasn't on Monday Night Football, I don't think Monday Night Football succeeds.
Okay. No, I definitely like that list. John Madden, like you said, painted a picture. Like you said, if you were blind and wanted to learn football, that was the guy to listen to. The only time I could not stand listening to John Madden was when he did Packer games with Brett Favre, because he had such a love fest with Brett Favre. Brett Favre could do no wrong. It was the best pass ever. Brett Favre's the only one that could do this, that.
Even though he completed that was still a great pass.
Yeah, I just could not listen to Madden and Packer games. I just could not. But I mean, Tim, you talk about John Madden, born here in Minnesota for one. But look what they did to him on Thanksgiving. They took his tradition with the turducken. I think all three games talked about Madden. He brought give the turkey leg out to for your MVP trophy, which I wouldn't mind a turkey leg if I was MVP of a game, but had a game, still has a game going. I mean, I don't think EA Sports will ever change that Madden name. I think it'll always be Madden.
It should,
but no, I like that list. Definitely like. I like how you consider Madden the GOAT and he's number 2 on your list. That kind of gets me. But like you said, to be able to, the icon, we'll call him the icon at number 1 there, and then to break it on Monday Night Football and talk about John Lennon. Yeah, that was something. So let's get into our last topic. Topic number 4.
Yep. Okay, there you go.
All right. So number 4, we got the Oregon Cougars, sponsored by Oregon Cougar Football. We can watch them here on C2C when the season starts. The Women's Professional League. Our own J-Mac is the voice of them, so please catch them out when the season starts. Big baller this week. I still can't remember. I think I did a Heineke last week, which I'll take a half a point because they won, but I don't think they won because of him.
All right.
This week, I'm going, and again, this might be just one of those picks. Like, really, you're going to take that as your big baller? I mean, it's obvious. I'm going with Tua and his receivers. I think they're just going to have a huge game today. Like Tim said, if they don't win by 21, something's wrong. So I'm going Tua and his crew there over in Miami. So with that being said, guys, Chris, what's our final thoughts this week?
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. Don't miss tonight's Survivor Series recap, War Games. It was a pretty good pay-per-view, and we're going to talk about it tonight.
Yep, and just so we don't spoil anything, there were some winners and some losers from last night, so that's what we'll say.
There you go.
So, all right, Tim. All right, Mr. Oos, what's up? What's your final thoughts?
I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank George for commenting.
Yep.
Everybody who's watching, don't be afraid to comment when we replay this or you see it, happen to see it on Facebook. We read the comments. Don't be afraid to even put it in there. I want to thank everybody. Like I said again, look for us on Tuesday. Like we said, we're possibly moving it up to later in the day to get more people to watch. Don't be afraid. Again, don't be afraid to comment. C2C Rankin with me and Big B. Don't be afraid to watch everything that these guys put on. They're all hell of shows, man. They're amazing to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And week 12, but yeah, watch Between the Ropes tonight. We got Tuesday Night Mania. We got Sports Minute. We got Bo and Joe Show. We got Creeping It Real. We got OBW on Thursdays. And then again, Tuesday morning, C2C Raycom. Check it out. We got
a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you finally get that? Did you finally get that baseball show in, or did you guys finally get your?
No, on deck. I think.
No.
We're having a tough scheduling. So hopefully Chris and us could get it together. So if not, we'll just have to scrap it. But anyway, so with that being said, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Prime Oos Tim. Mess around. Hopefully you're awake. I'm Big B. Check us out next week for another edition of Morning Tailgate. Have a good night.